someone said, yeah, the CCNA is not worth it without experience. It's like when people say things like that, it's like, I got a comment the other day on one of my older videos expressing an interesting point. And this point keeps this conversation around whether certifications are worth getting going, right? There's this conversation that certifications aren't worth it, certifications are worth it. Many people have different perspectives on it. And those of you who have been following my channel since the inception of my IT journey know how I feel about certifications and education as a whole. Now, when I say education, I mean credentials, right? I love credentials because credentials serves, at least for me and many people in my circle, as psychological motivator and self-esteem builder, if you will, when it comes to IT and any other walk of life, right? These credentials, I'd even argue, helps you to combat imposter syndrome. And I say that it helps you to combat imposter syndrome because we might have this perspective that when we get out there in the field, that everybody knows everything that we don't know, and we underestimate how much we actually know when we compare ourselves to other people. Now, with that being said, this comment, it made a great point because the video that it was responding to was in reference to when I said that many people who are in the IT industry may struggle with taking these certification exams. And they said that this pretty much proves that certifications don't help with real world jobs, because if these people use these applications and use this tech, I'm paraphrasing, on a day-to-day basis, you would think that they should be acing these exams, right? And I partly agree and I mostly disagree. So real world application and theory, I don't want to say it's two different things, but it can be two different things. One of the reasons why they can be two different things is the simple fact that when you are working in the real world, there are forces of the organization and the market that has to be taken into consideration. For example, when your IT manager comes up to you and asks you to deploy something that you may or may not have deployed in a long time, you might struggle with it, or you just might, be able to, get it done ASAP, right? But the thing here is that sometimes you just might have to consult YouTube University or Google University to figure out how to actually deploy this application in the business context. And the business context means, hey, look, we need to deploy this server ASAP, right? You don't necessarily have time to, read up on all of the intricate details, right? And you might not have the certification that teaches, or you might have studied for a certification that teaches you how to deploy that application, right? So now let's say in that instance, in that regard, you deployed this server or you deployed this application, and then you're looking to get some certifications, right? Say you're working in help desk, or you're working wherever, or you're working in IT support, whatever role it is, because a lot of these roles have overlap, and you want to get a certification. Now, some people might ask, oh, why would you get an A+ certification if you've already done help desk? And the reason why you would want to do that is for the exact reason I just stated. You deploy this server, but you don't know how it works. All you know is that it does work. And a lot of people in the IT field take that approach. Oh, it works, so I'm not complaining, but they don't know how it works. Now, I think it's important for you to know how things work when you're in the IT field, because it helps you to troubleshoot things faster and more efficiently, especially in the business context. So you go ahead, you go and take that A+ certification, you underestimate it. You think because, hey, yeah, I work with this every day, you can just go in and take the exam and pass it. But there's a lot of moving parts in what we do in this IT field. If this phone is shaking, the camera is shaking, is because I'm holding it and my hand is getting tired. But let me see if I can rest it on my wheel right here. But that's the whole point, right? There's a lot of moving parts, and the certifications help you to understand on a deep level the moving components of the things that you are deploying. Now, again, it sounds contradictory, and you know, this person who commented on my video has a point. Again, you would think people who are working in the field would be able to pass these exams, but again, you got to understand that when you're actually at work in one of these roles, you're not going into some sort of deep analysis while you're applying these technologies, especially if you can go on YouTube and someone can walk you through step by step how to install a certain server or to install a certain application. You didn't study that application, somebody else studied the application and they were able to walk you through. Or maybe the person that's walking you through it on YouTube had someone else walk them through it on YouTube. And it's like this infinite regression thing where it goes way back, way down the line. And many of these people don't understand how it works. So I think certifications are worth it because you get a deeper understanding of how this tech works, why it works. And when a user calls in and say they're having an issue with it, or if one of your colleagues are having an issue with the server or the application, you'll be able to troubleshoot it more effectively. And again, I know this conversation is overdone, but there are still people that are seeking this knowledge out. There's many people that are transitioning into the IT field from other fields. Like I've had people comment saying that they are transitioning from the medical field, coming from being a nurse or coming from being a teacher, or like for myself, I came from the warehouse industry, right? I was working in the warehouse for about 9 years before I decided to transition over into the IT field. Many of you that's been following my journey, I started out with, you know, you guys know I started out with the CompTIA ITF Plus. Then I moved up to the CompTIA A Plus. Then I got my CCNA. I started out in an IT support position and started doing network administration. Now I'm doing systems administration. So listen, I know everybody has their own perspective on it. Many people are completely starting over like I did. I wouldn't say I completely started over because I have, you know, 2 degrees. I have an engineering degree and I have a psychology degree, which helped me have a solid footing. But as far as not having any context in the IT field, not having any experience in the IT field, I had to start from somewhere. So I started with certifications. That's the only place I knew where to start. Many of you who are looking to get into the field might come on YouTube and you get these different back and forths. Are certifications worth it? No, certifications are not worth it. There's people that's hitting me up saying that they went on interviews and people are discouraging them from getting certain certifications like the CCNA, and saying that the CCNA is not worth it without experience. And I've even gotten a comment like that randomly on one of my videos where someone said, yeah, the CCNA is not worth it without experience. It's like when people say things like that, it's like, I don't even know what to say to that. And I notice it's the people that don't have the certification that say it's not worth it. And I don't know whether it's because they couldn't pass the exam, whether they failed the exam, or maybe they're too lazy to study for the exam. I don't know. I don't want to be derogatory or insulting, but my question is, where does someone start if they are just getting into this field? Where do they start? Do they not study at all? Do they just say, F it, I'm just not gonna bother with getting into IT? Like, where do you start? This is one of the reasons why I created my channel. I started from zero. I started with the ITF Plus, went to the A Plus, went to the CCNA. And another component that I always stress is labbing. You have to lab. You have to have the practical hands-on application of the theory that you're learning in these certifications. It's not just getting the certifications. The certifications pretty much guide you. It's like a guidepost as to what's being applied in the field, what's best practices, the new stuff that's in the field. That's why they keep updating these certifications, because tech moves at a very rapid pace. So if you're wondering whether these certifications are worth it, I would say they are. I don't know what else to say around this conversation, but I'm gonna keep on saying it. You know, as long as I get the comment saying that the CCNA is not worth it, or the certifications are not worth it, or they don't prove anything. Okay, cool. That's on you. That's on you. You're not trying to convince me. You know, you're trying to probably convince yourself. You're probably trying to convince yourself that these certifications aren't worth it. They definitely are. And I don't understand why people say that the CCNA is not worth it, or it's a vendor specific cert. Have you even studied for the CCNA? If you studied for the CCNA, or at least take an hour to look through the exam objectives, or you look through maybe a sample of the textbook, you know, that Cisco Press provides sometimes, you would see that you're learning the fundamentals of networking. And I think the reason why the CCNA is so powerful is that Cisco provides simulations like the packet tracer, right? For free, where you can apply all of these network fundamentals and you can learn how networking works, right? And of course it's vendor specific, but you get real world application. You get a strong facilitation of real world application of networking, of the basic foundations of networking and network troubleshooting. And there's many resources out there. I looked for other resources such as Juniper, what else? I think Dell. I didn't even know Dell made networking equipment until I started working in this position. And all these other places. It seems it's hard to get your hands on virtualization options, or simulation options, if you will. Cisco makes it easy for you to learn the fundamentals and do it in a very accessible way. At least that's what I believe. It's a very accessible way. And what better way to learn than to actually practice it, whether it's in a simulation. I believe in using hardware, but these days I'm using a lot of virtualization stuff because I have a lot of experience with hardware already. I work in roles where I get to touch hardware on a regular basis. So I don't know. I don't want to make this video too long. I probably should make it long because it's been a while since I've posted a video. But again, if you're wondering whether certifications are worth it or not, they are totally worth it. They're totally worth it. Again, when you study for these certifications, not only do they build your knowledge, but because you're building your knowledge, you're able to be more confident in what you're doing. What time is it? You get to be more confident as you get more competent with these technologies, right? With these concepts. And whenever you have imposter syndrome and you have these credentials, you have these certifications on your wall, you can remember, hey, you worked hard to get these certifications. But many people don't see it that way, and that's fine. My channel is for people that are just starting out, want to follow my progress, want to follow my journey, and maybe the things that I've done can help you out. Honestly, again, I don't see where you're going to start. Like if you're brand new to IT, I don't know where you're gonna start. Where else are you gonna start? Okay, so maybe if you just happen upon a job where, you know, they don't require certification, nothing, maybe they just need somebody there, excuse me, to pick up the phone. Fine, that's cool. Pick up the phone, you know, maybe direct the calls and all that stuff. But also maybe you might actually learn something. Maybe they might actually let you start touching equipment. You get what I'm saying? And after a while, you start building up your knowledge. Maybe you might want to get a certification, maybe not. Maybe you don't ever need to get a certification, but I think getting certifications are worth it because, again, they help you to progress in your knowledge if you're keeping up with the different versions of that certification, or you know, maybe just, you know, doing this. They have things called I think they're called CEs, continuing educations credits or whatever, that'll help you renew your certifications. And while you're doing those, I would assume that you're learning new material that's being applied in the industry. So I'm about to get to work, but I just wanted to put that out there because I'm still getting these comments. I'm still getting these comments where people are just still, fighting against the fact that certifications are worth it, or they're still stirring the pot of this conversation of whether certifications are worth it or not. And this is my perspective. I'm hoping to make some more demonstration videos, but I've been super busy lately. I said I was gonna make a video like 2-3 weeks ago, but I ended up starting a new role, and that's been taking up most of my time. And that's where I'm at right now. But I'm hoping I can get into a rhythm where I can make videos. I get to work early, so I can make some of these type of videos after work. My time is spoken for because I'm typically studying, but maybe I can make some time on the weekend to, do demonstrations for things that I might want to apply in production and make it a live stream so that I can chat while I'm doing it. Yeah, so I'm thinking that's something that I might have to do. But that's it for now. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.